What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. Alright, guys, so this is going to just be a monumental shock to many of y'all. Star Wars sequel trilogy didn't really have a plan. Really didn't have a meaning to it. It's after years and years of them trying to promote this as fans didn't like it and because they're sexist, racist, whatever. They're actually now I guess coming to the realization that, you know what, maybe it wasn't the fans that were wrong. Maybe it was us. Maybe people like J.J. Abrams, Ryan Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, maybe they went into this not really knowing exactly what they wanted. I'm glad I don't really give J.J. Abrams that much credit. Frankly, I think he sucks all the way around. Take Star Wars out of it, still don't like him. I just feel like he's just not a very good director. Yeah, he's all about, he's great at bringing in like these amazing scenes, that just leave you for like a few seconds going, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And then reality begins to set in. You're like, wait a second, that didn't make sense. That's J.J. Abrams. That's J.J. Abrams in a nutshell. So the idea that J.J. Abrams is coming out there now and actually has the guts to say what really everyone has known, every Star Wars fan out there has known, whether you loved or hated the sequel trilogy, you knew it from the very beginning. There was no plan. So I will give J.J. Abrams credit on this. He actually had the guts to do something that should have been done a long time ago, but at least he's coming out now and saying, you know what? Made a mistake, guys. That's on me. Let's just read what he had to say. I think it's really interesting. It goes on to say, it says, Abrams was asked by Collider, do you feel like that trilogy would have benefited from planning out a very strict 3-movie story from the very beginning? Or do you enjoy the kind of creative freedom to kind of take characters different ways and see how that goes? Abrams responded with a rambling answer. Didn't really want to come out and say it, but he actually did, before he eventually admitted that Star Wars needed a plan. He stated, what I've learned as a lesson a few times now, it's something that, especially in this pandemic year, working with writers, the lesson is you have to plan things the best you can. Abrams continued, and you always need to be able to respond to the unexpected, and the unexpected can come in all sorts of forms. And I do think that there's nothing more important than knowing where you are going. Nothing more important than knowing where you're going. That's the reason why they always tell writers, write the ending, go backwards if you're going to do that. Don't start off at the beginning, write the ending. That way you have a basis of going, you know what? No matter where this story goes, this is kind of where I want to go. That should always never be set in stone. It should never be set in stone because, look, sometimes, your initial thought or your initial reaction when you're writing is, man, this is really good, and you're just pumped and you're really excited. And then you always hit that one moment where writer's block comes in. And that's when, things change. Some of the things that you write maybe aren't as good as what you intended. Maybe some things actually, once you break through that writer's block, maybe it's better than anything you imagine. So you can kind of change that ending as you go. You can still have your characters flowing this way and that way, and it all be good. You can even keep the ending the same. But I will say, to a certain extent, I think as a creative, creativity should always be a part of this. Yes, you do have the ending, and it does. Like I said, it doesn't always have to be the ending you initially come up with. You can have, you can, mix and fill with these characters and see, what worked, what didn't work. Should have done that after episode one, but not episode one, episode, The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens. That should have been the moment that you felt out your characters and you're like, okay, we're going in this direction. Um, Unfortunately, all he did with that movie was basically just create, episode four again. That was it. I mean, that's really all he did. It was just nostalgia filled. It was just there a retelling of Luke Skywalker's story just with Rey in it. That was it. So yeah, this whole project has no creativity about it, and I'm almost insulted now that we're 2021, and it's been so many years since the first of the sequel trilogy for come out. All of this attacking fans, really saying the most derogatory things about the people that love the franchise more than anyone. Um, Calling them all these names when in reality you yourself, J.J. Abrams, knew that you were creatively bankrupt. And instead of just admitting that at the get-go and saying, guys, we dropped the ball on this, sorry about that. You just said that, fans would still been pissed, but at least they would at least give you credit for something. Now I kind of feel like after you've called fans all of this for all these years, Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, all of them, I kind of feel like after you've called fans all of these names for all of these years, now it's like admitting it is just like, yeah, we kind of knew that. But it doesn't make me feel better towards J.J. Abrams at this point. Because I'm like, you already said all these horrendous things. You allowed these horrendous things to be said, even if you're not the one saying it. When you yourself knew that you had just completely ruined the Star Wars franchise. So his his apology, while I'm glad he said it, rings hollow to me because of all the years that they have constantly berated the fans that love it the most. And the idea that now you're like, oh, yeah, we actually did go into this and didn't have a plan. So, yeah, when it looked chaotic, it's because it was chaotic. We didn't know where we were going in this. That to me is ridiculous. I don't see how you can be Disney. You spend billions of dollars to buy this franchise, and then what do you do with it? You're like, you know what? We're just going to, I don't know, wing it. You're going to wing something that you spent billions of dollars to get? That seems crazy. Like, I wouldn't do that. If I went out there and I paid $10 for something, I'm not just going to be like, I'm going to wing it. I spent $10 on that thing. But you think if I spent $1 billion, I don't care. I don't care how rich I ever get. I would never ever go into any project with thinking, you know what? I'm going to wing this. The name alone will sell, and we don't have to worry about actually, I don't know, anything story wise. We'll just add some, I don't know, some SJWBS. We'll give fans some nostalgia, and if they don't even like any of that, well, then we'll just call them racist and sexist, and that'll fly because I'm sure fans love being called racist and sexist. Blows my mind. Blows my mind at how far Star Wars has fallen. I think they got some really good things going. Sadly, I don't believe that it's enough to keep this franchise afloat unless they have a really big hit. The Mandalorian really bought them some time, especially season 2, but not enough time for them to really turn this around. They really need something powerful, something to re engage fans. This might be the start of it, them accepting that, yes, they did drop the ball on this one. Um, but still, I kind of feel like at this point it rings hollow. At least it does to me. Like I said, hey, you know what? It's still a step in the right direction. Still don't buy into Disney Star Wars as of yet. I think The Mandalorian Season 2 was good, but they ruined all that with Gina Carano firing and all the mess that they did with a lot of people at Lucasfilm not really wanting Luke Skywalker back in the picture. I mean, there was a lot of things along those lines that completely ruined that moment at the very end of Season 2. So I'm like, yeah, they did a good thing, but then they completely, right from the get-go, walked it back. So that's the way I feel towards it, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Does this, I don't know, these words from J.J. Abrams, does it sting? Does it make it sting more that it took him so long to say this? Or does it bring some relief to any of y'all out there that at least he admits to it now? That at least somebody does. Let me know what y'all think down below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. And y'all take care.